The biggest mistake I made in my business was not hiring a professional to help me with my money. Not just my taxes, but the actual plan I had for my business. I was completely lost on how to handle taxes, what to do with profit, and how to maintain my income. I had to find a better way. That's when I found Core Financial. Core Financial is a team of tax professionals that actually care about building real relationships with their clients. They run my books, keep me up to date with my finances, and make sure I'm taking full advantage of all of my tax benefits. Are you struggling with your finances? Look no further. Core Financial is a brand that is nationwide that can help you with your business. Both Nick and I are huge fans of Core, and they can help you too. Check out howtofilmweddings.com/core to schedule a consultation today. Core Financial, real relationships, no surprises. Hello and welcome to How to Film Weddings. My name is John Bunn. I'm joined by Nick Miller, and today is a special bonus episode / Zoom call that we had with our good friends over at White In Revery. But first, Nick Miller, how are you on this fine weekday that's not a Monday?
I am doing so solid, doing so good. Last week, I went to Big Sur, California for a little intimate elopement. So that turned out really, really well. Then I shot a wedding in Kansas City. Now I'm back home. A lot of travel, a lot of stuff going on, but I feel good. Really excited about the conversation that we just had with Kaylin and Christine. We talk a lot about venture. If you are on the fence about going to venture, this is what I'm going to tell you. Just go. Like it's happening in just like a week and a half or so as we're dropping this podcast. It's going to be a great place where you can learn from a lot of cool people that are the top in our industry and me and John. So you definitely should consider going to venture. That's what we talked a lot about with Kaylin and Christine and some other stuff, that they're doing in their business. John, anything else you want to add before we jump in?
Well, before we jump in, if you're like, I don't know about venture, we make an announcement inside of this live
There
Zoom
is a
call.
VIP offer. A VIP offer
announcement that could get you a very cool experience. So you might want to hang around, listen to this episode. But yeah, I think we can go ahead and get right into this call with White In Revery.
Let's go.
What's up, guys?
Howdy.
It is good to be here, guys.
I like the bats on your shirt, Christine. Very spooky and Halloween-y.
Spooky season, so I had to.
I love it. You guys been doing well? What's new in your world? You guys are here.
Home remodeling, I feel like, has been taking a lot. I was laying some mad tile the other day.
Dude, you were.
I'm now
you showed
also
us a picture. It was sweet.
Slight plumber.
Plumber Kaylin.
I've learned a lot whenever you get a house that needs a lot of renovations, but
I feel like I keep going into home renovation projects and being like, this is going to be so fast. We're going to get this done in a day or 6 hours or 4 hours. And then 3 weeks later, I'm like screaming.
But it's a good time to do it, right?
Yeah.
It is a good time. I just keeps pushing me to like take car rides where I just sit and listen to Under Oath and scream
to calm down.
To calm down. Home renovation is no joke, man.
Yes. And guys, it's a big, I don't know if you know or not, we're doing a big announcement here in just a minute, which is pretty cool, which we're really excited about.
Yeah.
And thank you guys for coming on. We are live inside of our Facebook group, and we're also going to turn this into a podcast. So if we're talking to people and you're listening on the podcast, this is just so more of you can hear this announcement. And anytime that we can get these two lovely people in front of our audience, it is a win. So, Nick.
Hey, can you hear me? Can you hear me okay?
Go ahead.
No, can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. My computer freaked out on me for a second. So.
You're good, Nick.
You're good.
Okay. I'm very professional over here. What were you going to say, John?
Friend.
Okay, good. What were you saying?
I was just saying hi to you. I know you.
Oh, hi.
I got nothing. I mean, we're just so used to be in front of the camera now. It's just like I forget that there's actually, like people that want us to be professional and stuff. But so we're here with White In Revery. We're doing this as a podcast. We're going to do this live in our Facebook group. We want to just get right into what's going on with you guys. I know some stuff is coming up in the next couple of weeks. Venture Workshop is almost here. Why don't you, for those that are listening, give us a little bit of what Venture Workshop is, when it is, all that kind of good stuff.
Yeah.
Venture workshop will be happening in less than 3 weeks. So it's going to be out here in Denver. Originally, we were going to have it in May, and then the world turned upside down, and we decided to push it back a little bit. So it's now in October, and it's going to look a little bit differently, but it's still going to be an amazing experience. We have some amazing speakers and teachers, including you guys, that are going to be there. And we have switched things up so that those that are attending, there will be a full 2-day event that you can attend. And during that time, you're going to have a lot of space to connect with teachers and learn. And it's going to be a really fun time. We did it at the same location. We're doing it at the same location this year as we did last year out here in Denver. And it's going to be an absolute blast. We switched up. Instead of 4 full days, we now have 2 full days for group 1 and 2 full days for group 2. What we decided to do is to keep our capacity less than 50. And that just gives us enough space to follow certain guidelines with the states, but also have a lot of social distancing that works with our scenarios. But really it comes down to is the attendees have more intimate times with the teachers. So that is really important for us. And you're going to have roughly about, I would say, 1 teacher for every 3 people, compared to last year was like 1 teacher for 7 people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that's going to be really cool. We'll have a lot of intimate breakout sessions and connect with everyone.
We also set it up. This was super important to me because I don't know how everybody else has experienced COVID, but I've experienced it pretty anxiously. And like anytime there's potential scares or whatever, I'm like, freaking out. And so we've done a couple things to kind of like emotionally prep me for this. And so we like took a road trip at one point. I feel like it was just like healing to get out and be in the world again a little. And we were kind of watching the numbers when we were making the final calls. But what it really came down to, I was like, I'm not doing this unless we take literally every precaution and try to make this, at least in most ways, safer than most weddings.
Yeah, that's true.
So I was like, I'm feeling comfortable like going back to film a wedding now at this point. And so I want to make sure that if we're doing something like this, that it feels more comfortable than a wedding. So looking at all the things that coordinators and weddings all over the world are starting to implement, things like wristbands. So there'll be 3 different types of wristbands.
Like comfort level bands.
Comfort level bands. So like, are you cool with fist pumps, or do you want to try to keep your distance? I'll probably have a keep your distance wristband on me. And then, or, just things like that. No fist pumps. Fist pump like this. And so, it's just like things like that, where it's like, what are things that people are doing around the world to help? And what are guidelines that our city is regulating at other things? I'm like actively in an acting class now. And the things that they did in my acting class to make it feel, or not just feel safe, but actually be a little safer, has been really, we've like implemented a lot of those things too. So it's like really cool. I'm really proud of like the plan that we have.
Yeah, we went through, we made a full announcement video for those that are interested. You can go to ventureworkshop.co and we have an announcement video breaking down everything, all the precautions we're doing. And a lot of it is, everyone's coming from different places and they're at different stages in their life. So we recommended the people that
or different regions, different regions are addressing it differently, and there's different levels of like population where there's more risk and people are living in different, so I know that everybody's like coming in with different.
So
you hear kids screaming in the background.
Yeah,
yes,
our child.
That's why we're laughing.
Oh, man.
It's great.
I
didn't know it was mixed kids or yours. It sounds great.
It's definitely our child.
Ours. I think she has like a toy hair dryer that she's been doing. Like I can hear it.
It's like
perfect.
But it's going to be awesome. It's going to be really cool. So we have, we're going to have some great, moments together. We're also taking a lot of precautions, like teachers are getting tested before. So, we're going above and beyond the normal route that a lot of people are taking.
Can we talk about the course?
We also will be having some really great supplemental digital course technically that comes with Venture. So whenever those that are able to attend Venture, we're also going to have certain classes that are going to be pre-recorded that we'll be able to.
Wait, I want to tell you this an idea. So basically I wanted to, one of the things that I was like really just adamant about is like, I don't want anybody to wake up on day 2 and then they cough a couple times and they're like, what on earth? And I don't want anybody to think like, oh, it's okay for me to come. Or like, I'm going to miss out if I don't come. So what we are doing is making all of the teachers send a pre-recorded. Oh yeah. Most of the teachers are sending pre-recorded classes. So if they wake up and they have a slight temperature, there's no hesitation, stay home and we'll play your course that's like been filmed already. And so with that, we're going to have all these pre-recorded classes,
backups of backups.
And so and then if an attendee isn't able to come, we can send those over to them and things like that. We'll be like, thank you for not coming, here's the classes. But with that, then we'll have this. And so we know a lot of people had to cancel their tickets or trade out their tickets with someone else. And, there's been a lot of that kind of stuff happening. And so we're building a venture course. Mm-hmm. And so anyone who cannot attend in person, either because we typically have a lot of international people and a lot of international people just can't come right now because of travel bans. And so we're going to have this venture course that people can get instead. So
and we'll have really more information, and that'll be announced kind of at Venture too. So we'll have it's going to be really.
But that's the lowdown. That's the fun info of what's going on with that.
Yeah, I love it.
Christy, you and I are so similar because whenever John and I are talking to anybody and he starts talking about it and I'm like, well, that was my idea. And I need to let everyone know that I came up with the idea. And,
it's awesome.
John doesn't do that to me, but I definitely do that to him. So
that's my idea. I want to talk about it.
You guys are on different screens in different locations because we know what would happen. You would be like, no, John, no, let me talk. I got this.
Don't touch me, Nick.
Yeah.
Don't touch me, bro.
So Venture is just from the date of this live recording. It's in like 2 or 3 weeks. Is it 2 weeks or is it 3 weeks?
Well, let me check my calendar.
I think it's 2 weeks.
Like
2 weeks.
It's like 2 weeks from today.
It's still right now. So 2 weeks from today.
So it's coming up fast. So here's the question that I have for you guys. Let's say that there's someone out there listening to this and they're like, man, I didn't sign up last year. It sold out. Then all this happened. Are there any more tickets available if someone wants to come and sign up today? Can they?
Yes.
Glad you asked, Nick. Group 1 is currently sold out. So group 1 is Monday and Tuesday. And then we're repeating that same whole session with all the same teachers and everything for Wednesday and Thursday. And that group 2, has just a handful of tickets left, a little over 5. So we just have that much and then it's pretty much gone and sold out. So those are the final tickets. And I mean, if you were imagining last time coming versus this time you just get so much more one-on-one relationships. If you have questions, if you want answers, we are leaning into a lot of breakout sessions. So in a lot of those conversations that you have, we're going to be answering. And instead of just kind of spreading out our time, I feel like we're able to really focus and hone in on everybody. So we only have that many left.
Yeah. But one thing that I will say, I met you guys at the first Venture, a couple of years ago. And I look back at that as one of the 3 or 4 things that really changed the trajectory of our business and who we were as wedding filmmakers and stuff. And Venture is a big part. Yeah. Yes. Like seriously. Mm-hmm. You guys doing your same day edits, us taking that and running with that has really helped propel us and stuff. Anyways. But a thing with that first one is there were it was 40, 45, total people there, including all the teachers.
Less than 30 people with the teachers in one house.
Yeah. So, that experience of having it be a lot more intimate and a lot closer, I'm still, and I know you get in relationships and meet people whenever you come to Venture, but those same people and talking to them over and getting to know them and learning and having access to these people that we see as greats in our industry to actually talk to them and learn from them and interact with them more one-on-one. I think that's a really cool thing that now is being offered with you having to split it into 2 days because you're limiting the number of attendees for safety reasons. And I think that's really cool. And so many people can get so much more out of it because of that experience and that possibility. So I'm really excited about that.
When we talked about growing Venture, it was really, we had I can't even countless conversations of saying, do we want this to grow or do we want this to stay intimate? And now we're kind of being forced to go back to that intimate setting. And I'm thinking back of like, just like remembering each and every face that was there. Jay and Mac were there. Becca, who now is our roommate, was there.
You come to Venture. If you come to all Ventures, you'll become our roommate.
No.
She's the only one that's been to every Venture. Yeah.
Guaranteed. That's a promise.
We have 2 rooms available right now. Who's gonna be next? No, I'm just kidding. So yeah, and so it's like I'm thinking back on all the relationships built, and like now I'm like following, several people. One's like doing this autumn tour right now, and like it's just crazy like that intimate setting. And I knew it was something we would miss when we expanded. Expanding came with a lot of other beautiful things. So like the relationships that I saw in the large groups as people started breaking off into smaller groups, and now seeing all of the Philip Harbuck and who he talks to on a daily basis now. You know what I mean? Like it just like it kind of like allowed other people to start forming their own small intimate groups and then blowing up from there, which has really been cool. But now going back to the smaller thing was like, oh, we're nervous, and now I'm excited.
Maybe we need to bring that back or something.
Yeah, now I'm like feeling really excited about it. So it's cool. Yeah, I love that you're saying that because I don't think we've ever talked about that very much. Maybe you've told me 14 times and I don't remember, but like
I have. Every time I see you, I tell you that, and that's what you think of me, I guess.
No, I love that though. That's really cool. So yeah, anyway, you guys want to...
Well, yes, I want to say one thing too. I was at last year's Venture, and it, like, even though it was a little bigger, I still think that like the way that you guys set it up is so great, in the fact that like with the breakout sessions and with the time that you give people to get to know each other, I met so many people at Venture that we've either had on our podcast or that like I refer weddings to, and so that community side of it for what you guys are doing is so incredible. And so I know that it was coming up. I know that you guys had a couple of spots left. So I started messaging Kaylin a couple of weeks ago and was like, I want to do something for how to film weddings people. Like I want to, like, what can we do that's like next level as a hookup for the HTFW fam that nobody else can have? And Kaylin had a really great idea, and that's what we want to talk about. So
heck yeah.
I want you guys.
It was a collective.
It was a collective. Yes, it doesn't.
It was my idea. It was my idea.
It wasn't sure whose idea it was, Christine. It was my idea.
Well, I've like spent the past couple of days just sitting on like so much, like being so proud of you for the idea. But I'll disperse that pride because I was like, that is so cool. That's so cool. I can't believe you came up with that idea, and you didn't even correct me and take credit. So. Keep going. I'm sorry.
Definitely. I started the conversation asking Kaylin what we could do, started talking to Nick. We started bouncing ideas back and forth. So we have put something together for the How to Film Weddings fam. So Kaylin, if you want to chat with the listeners about it, kind of what we're thinking of doing, because it's time sensitive. So I want people to be able to jump on this announcement. So go for it. The floor is yours.
So like I said, we have a little bit over 5 tickets left. So we're making an exclusive freaking killer deal for the next 5 people that sign up for Venture. And what this looks like is those 5 people are going to get an exclusive dinner date with us and the How to Film Weddings crew. And we are going to treat you to some of our favorite spots here in Denver. And we're also going to be doing an exclusive film review for each one of those 5 people. So we don't do any of those film reviews for anybody unless we have like special one-on-one mentorship sessions, but never usually in a large crowd gathering. But this is an exclusive option where come to Venture, you get to hang out with all the teachers, and then a bonus is we're going to take you and treat you to an awesome dinner, hang out, have some one-on-one time, and then also do a film review for you and kind of help elevate your brand in whatever way we can.
This is fun for me because I somehow turned a VIP experience into me getting to go to dinner with Nick and Christina Kaylin and 5 of you out there. I turned a party out of nothing. I did it. I can't believe they fell for it. No, Alex Young says sold. He's coming.
Sold.
That's awesome.
Yes,
Dude,
I would
him
love
and-
to see
You
them
both should come. Come on.
Yes, please.
Yes, and so
Also, I want to give a
yeah.
shout out. There's a hashtag group2fam by Jeremy. And this
Yes.
is exactly what we were hoping would happen.
We need to come up with
is
some
that
cool names for the groups, though.
The names,
too.
they need to have like groups or something, like names, And so I'm hoping that happens eventually. And that,
love it.
we'll make you guys matching visors if you do. No, don't hold me to that. Don't hold me. I will not put you through such a thing.
David says that's awesome. Killer deal. Alex says, how do we get that deal if we sign up on the site? Just mention how to film weddings, and if those come in, the next 4 that come in after you,
We're tracking them right now, so
we'll track them. So, and then that'll be dinner during the second group. So we'll go hang out with you guys in Denver. Nick and I will be there in our full how to film weddings mode. That's all I can say.
we are going to have the full, we're having an awards ceremony too. So group 1 is going to be on Tuesday night. Group 2 is going to be on Thursday night. And that awards ceremony is unlike any other awards ceremony. We're competing for the best drone fail, the best wedding day bloopers. We turn it on its head and we come up with some really interesting categories. So those that win are getting trophies. We're going to have speeches. People are dressing up nice, red carpet experience. And we also have sick giveaways. We have a lot of sponsors that are giving away free products. So again, the odds of you getting winning are pretty good because we have 10 to 20 different giveaways and there's only 35 people per group. So, you're walking away with some sick deals in my opinion. Yeah. Sorry you can't win anything, John and Nick, but
That's okay. And the venue itself is pretty big, and with this small a number, no, you can't win, Nick. I don't know. Number of people, there's room.
You can only lose.
You can win a mug.
Can I get a mug on top of the mug that you owe me? Double mugs?
We're 2 mugs deep. We're got to get another one going.
So that's the announcement, the VIP experience with White In Revery and How to Film Weddings, a film review and dinner with everyone you see on the screen. What else could you want? We'll see if some of the other teachers might want to join us too. Yeah.
Our cat is not included in this.
Cat not included, sorry. That's an exclusive deal.
Alex wants a trophy with Kaylin's mullet on it. That's what I'm talking about.
Only if you win most stylish filmmaker, which is one of the categories.
Just one of the categories. Yeah.
Are you eligible to win that?
I'm not, but we do sometimes use a picture that we have as a reference.
We like to troll our teachers a little bit.
Yeah, you might find some fun pictures appearing randomly.
Oh, great.
So that's kind of
Are you tired of just sending a link to your couples when you are done with their film? Do you want to deliver something they can actually see and feel? Something physical? We are so excited to tell you about Photo Flash Drive. Photo Flash Drive's customizable hard drive and solid state drives give your client a peace of mind. Take your delivery experience to the next level with your couples. Photo Flash Drive uses state-of-the-art Seagate drives that are 100% customizable. PFD has the ability to print your logo, your couple's names, or both on the drive. You guys, we picked up a few of these and they are so good. We cannot wait to blow our clients away with this next level physical product. Not only can you customize these drives, Photo Flash Drive offers high quality, customizable boxes that you can brand with your logo to really blow your couples away. My favorite is the rustic slide box that has our logo engraved on the cover. Having a high quality product like this is something that has been definitely lacking in my business. The custom hard drives and solid state drives with cases are a great way to sell additional items to your couple, a great way to offer a full branding experience, and a great way to leave an impression. And today we have a deal for you. Use promo code HTFW15 for 15% off all hard drives, solid state drives, and cases. Head over to howtofilmweddings.com/photoflashdrive to see all the details.
Finding the perfect song for your wedding film can be so frustrating. We spend countless hours searching for the perfect song. When it comes to licensing music, Nick and I both love Musicbed. Not only do they have the best music, but their website makes it so easy to find the perfect song and to find it fast. We have both been using the Musicbed's wedding subscription for years and cannot recommend it enough. Not only are they adding new music from incredible musicians like Chapters, The Light, The Heat, and Tony Anderson all the time, they've made it incredibly easy to search their library for mood, genre, instrumentation, and even key. So what are you waiting for? Head on over to howtofilmweddings.com/musicbed and use promo code HTFW for a free month of a Musicbed wedding subscription. howtofilmweddings.com/musicbed. Well, that is awesome, and we'll post that in the group and everything as well. Mm-hmm. Before hopping off of here, I did want to ask you guys, and if anyone watching has any Q&A for White In Revery about Venture or about just what they've been doing, because they've been killing it lately. I don't know if you've been seeing what they've been doing, but boom! I hate you guys and love you guys at the same time. But we're going to post a video in the group. You posted it a couple of days, maybe a week or so back, Kaylin, about like these end screen credits that you did on a film. I thought it was really awesome and just would love for you to kind of explain why you decided to do it, what it was, and we'll post the video in the group so people can see it. But I just wanted to chat with you about that little end screen credit thing you did because it was awesome.
Just saw Alex just got a ticket, so we'll see you there.
All right,
Alex.
counting down now. There's only like 3 or 4 left. Hop on it.
Yes.
And
Veronica's coming too.
Yeah. So this wedding that we filmed was pretty much our only wedding we shot this year. So we kind of sat with it and we're able to be a little bit more creative and kind of spend a little bit more time and try out things that we haven't done. And
also another reason that I don't think this would have happened had this not happened, but the couple wrote their vows and then they started saying them and then just completely said, I'm just going to speak from my heart. Yeah. And so they started just kind of speaking from their heart, which was beautiful. And the words that they said were like, I was so excited to be bringing them in. It was very raw and genuine. And, but from that, there were parts where I felt like some words were said nervously and you could feel it in their voice, or words were stated not
as intent,
like staccato. Do you know what that is? That musical term. There were words that were stated a little bit more staccato than legato, or you know what I mean. And so so we've like kind of pitched it to them and we're like, hey, listen, this is beautiful, we love this, but if you would like to, you can take the words that you said and re-record your vows and make it and try to say it, but like with a little bit more like fluidity to your voice and things like that, if you want to. And they were like, oh, absolutely, let's do it.
Yeah. So we mailed them the recorder that we used and encouraged them to find a location similar to where they got married and told them how to stand, put the mic on the groom's lapel so it's similar. And they sent us that whole audio file and we mixed it into the film. So there's shots that are recorded and then there's shots that are re-recorded, and we tie it in. Some shots are the re-recorded over the visual, so you can't even tell. They just naturally worked out that way. So it has a mixture of both, but that kind of extended the length of the film. So instead of getting it done in the summer, we decided to kind of just, there was no real rush necessarily. So, but during that time, we went through the song selection, ended the film, and we realized it kind of felt a little abrupt with the ending, but then also we were considering playing out with this idea of a credit section. And the reason for that is the bride and the groom both selected all their vendors for the wedding very strategically. So they talked to us at the wedding, talked to us after the wedding, before, about all these vendors, and they were loving on each one of them. So they were very special to their story and their weekend already. So with that said, we decided, what's a way that we could show credit to those vendors, which would also, I think, add a nice value to the couple because they already see their vendors as like family. And that was kind of like the initial thought process.
Yeah, it worked really, really well for this particular couple. I wouldn't suggest it for every couple, But knowing, I walked in to film her bridal prep, and she was asking me about Zeely. Where's Zeely right now? How's she doing? What's going on with everything in your life right now? How are you doing? What's, she was so personal. She did the same for the photographer. She knew the photographer's kids' names, and she had sent us gifts and just was so involved. And when we sent over the stuff with the vendors, she sent us more to add in, because she was like, no, these as well. I love the people who did my hair stuff were so cool. So it's it was really you could tell that for her, she was choosing people, vendors, based on who they were, and wanted this team. She loved to love on her team, if that makes sense. And so we were if she loves everybody that much, she probably would be the perfect person for this kind of thing. So, and
we posted this in your group and just kind of had the conversation. What is everyone's thoughts on credits at the end of the film? And I felt like we got a lot of great feedback on, hey, this is an awesome idea, or hey, I think this sounds cool, but I don't know if my couple would like this. Or what if we did two versions, one with credits just for the filmmaker to post, and then one without credits that the couple could have as their own film. Maybe they weren't stoked on some of their vendor team, or maybe one of the vendors was really rude and you don't want to highlight them,
Did someone say that they did something comparable to this, and then someone asked them to remove one of the vendors?
So there's
I'd like to forever forget
there's a hit or miss, yeah.
Person.
So I think what we walked away with, it's great to do a 2-version option, one for the couple, and then one if they still want it, but also one that we can share. I think it's a way to highlight the vendors, create a great experience with them. I mean, after we sent the film to the coordinators, they were like, hey, we would love to add you to our preferred vendor list. So that's an awesome feature. And one thing people asked is, did you already shoot with that in mind, or did you just have footage left over and you decided to use it? And the way we kind of approach it is, whenever we're filming weddings, we are already usually trying to integrate vendors into the footage so that we can make special little social media edits or things that we can share with those vendors to highlight them. So we already had that content because we had already prepared, hey, maybe we can show a little bit of the coordination team or the photographer in action. So we purposely record all that in between stuff as well. And so it worked perfectly because we had it all stylized. But I think one thing that really takes it to the next level, in my opinion, is all about the font and layout. So we worked really hard. We've been working with a designer to rebrand and kind of update our logo and our icon, Mark. And part of that was developing a credits section. And so picking the right font, and then how do we animate it to give it that next level? So I made my own motion graphics in Motion for Final Cut so that we can intersplice the different names. And we have the header text that stays still, and then we have the name kind of spread out and animate and blur in, and we have a background. And it's all about positioning it in some of the dead space a little bit, where it just blends really well and articulates and really showcases that scene in a really nice way. So we were watching other films and movies and trying to figure out, how do people use these title sequences? And so that's kind of what gave us that idea. And it just that subtle, just animating adds just another element to it, in my opinion, that makes it shine.
It shined.
It shined.
It definitely shined. I was sitting there watching it, just okay, yeah, I suck at my life. I hate myself.
Don't ever feel
but
that
in a
way.
good way.
I feel that sometimes when I watch people's work. You should know that. So
I try not to watch your work. That's all.
I mean, again, that was our only film we pretty much released this year. So
I know. You said we're killing it, and I feel over here ugh, I feel like I'm
got 2 weddings down for 2020.
Yeah. Well, we haven't had a lot of stuff to work with, I guess. But it's definitely.
With what you had, you did well. We'll say that much. So
I will say also, one of the things that kind of made us think about this as well is, Nick, whenever you've done this a couple times, in the ending of your films, is you will kind of shrink the size for the last 10 seconds, 30 seconds, whatever it is, while you have the next video available. And it's a way to kind of get people to watch to the end of the film while still giving them some valuable information to kind of watch. And so we decided, hey, the film's done, but now there's these credits section, and you're kind of interested in each vendor. It keeps people watching even longer and engaging a little bit more. And so that kind of also made me think, how can we keep people engaged all the way to the end?
And I bet that you had a much higher success rate in having other vendors share that video than you would if you wouldn't have included that. Yeah. I'm just guessing.
Yeah.
You know, it's really interesting. A huge thing I almost forgot to note on this is as we've moved a little bit more into like the luxury market, I feel like capturing other vendors' work has been significantly more important to us. When we were in the $35,000 to $6,000 price range, I don't think it was in the front of my mind as much. And then when we moved up higher as far as like our base rates, I feel like it's like gotten more and more prominent in my mind of like, I need to make sure, like, I know that they probably spent more money on this. I know that each one of these details was thought out, or the coordinator is going to appreciate it if I capture all of these details. So for a long time, I was like, the photographer's getting it, that's totally fine. And now I'm like, I want to make sure I get it because I want to make sure that if I'm in a higher price range and the bride asks me, hey, actually that hairpiece was my great grandmother's and my mom and my grandma has worn it, you know, or whatever. I want to make sure that I have literally every detail so I don't have any reason for them to be upset with our work. You know what I mean? And so with that, like we'll show up on a wedding day. I wouldn't say I'm like over filming. I'm just like, that is something in the front of my mind, capture as many details as possible. And there have been a couple times when we'll make individual videos just be like, oh my gosh, I loved that band. That band was so bomb. I'm going to make just a little quick video for them and they can share it on their social media platforms. And for a little bit there, we were just throwing Google Google Drive link over to the coordinator. And just saying, hey, we just made a couple extra social media clips. And then I would see the band post about it. And then I know that band is like minimum $50,000 and their brides are seeing it. And then they'll see our work. And so for us, we've always been very like word of mouth marketing. I feel like those are always the ideas we come up with. Same day edits is part of it. Loving on vendors is another huge part of that. And so as we've like shifted our company and moved into different price brackets and things like that, I feel like that always being creative with that has been really cool because it's really helped us. And then when you find a vendor that you really, really freaking love, then you show up, you get excited about going to work with them the next time you go into work.
Because it's all about relationships. And so if you're building a relationship, that I feel like a lot of vendors that we've realized too, a lot of them just want to work with people that are fun to be around. And they would choose that over the quality, which is kind of interesting. They still want, you still want to recommend somebody that's great, but whenever it comes down to quality versus, being able to stand somebody, they're going to want to work with somebody that they can have fun with. And I think that's where we kind of want to build that community and that relationship at all those weddings.
Someone asked, are there specific examples you can look to where another vendor, I say someone, this is Jonathan, we know you, where another vendor brought you more work? And I would say absolutely yes. Most of our work that we book is word of mouth, and that's from hey, I saw you on this venue Instagram page. Hey, like Gary. Hey, the photographer recommended you. Hey, like I remember
on the coordinator's preferred vendor list, because they work together.
Yeah.
Like we got an inquiry because we had just worked with the same photographer and the same coordinator. And they're like, hey, I just wanted to keep the same team together. So a couple is reaching out.
I've even gotten inquiries from florists. There's a florist in Orlando that we were just like, we like hung out and chatted with her once on an elevator leaving at the end of an event and just grew like a really great relationship. And now like we're not in her local community anymore, but for a long time she was recommending this to literally everybody because she just really liked that elevator ride and we loved her work. She's literally, in my opinion, the best in that area, although I don't really know up to date.
Yeah, there's something really huge to doing nice things for people that you like to work with and that sort of thing. We, from one of our sponsors, Photo Flash Drive, we got those playbooks, the books that open up and the video starts playing. And I printed one with a venue in town, their logo on it. And then I dropped like 9 of our videos that we have filmed there over the last 3 years. And I just handed it to her and I said, here you go. This is for you, do with it what you will. I wasn't like, show this to all your couples, but since doing that like a month ago, we have gotten 6 inquiries from that venue. And I'm guessing, they're like the Hudson recommended you, I'm guessing that she's just pulling out this book and saying, hey, this is what Wild Oak Film does, so you never know, just like that, like being nice and doing something a little extra, think, well, those playbooks are like $100 or whatever. Yeah. Well, it's like, $100 in marketing, like with that, like it's totally
One
totally
lead. I mean,
worth it.
come on.
Right, exactly.
Do you know
It's
what
totally
$100
worth
in
it.
marketing on Facebook will get you? Not like super far. Probably,
Right,
yeah.
right. So
Depending on your
doing
list.
stuff like that, doing stuff like that is just can really take you above and beyond and have, oh, you need to hire these people because of this, and those relationships go
They're cool.
so
They're the type
far.
of people who will go above and beyond for the people they. Yeah, it's
And
huge. And then there's also like a lot of other things. Like for me personally, I feel like sometimes it can be hard to want to do something without knowing there's an end result in it, or to want to do something even though there's no potential for marketing or benefit or career furtherment. And
You don't know how it's going to pay off.
Yeah. And I've been doing so many things to try to like heal that over the past couple of years of like doing something simply for the pleasure of doing it, knowing it was a cool thing to do.
Blessing somebody with it.
Yeah, blessing someone with it, or just taking acting classes, even if I never act in a film ever. You know what I mean? Like just anything with like no like straight like I'm doing this for cause and effect, you know, even just doing it just for that, like any Enneagram 3s that need to heal that, I need to achieve kind of thing, and just do something for the sake of doing something cool is also a cool thing. So, hey, shout out to my Enneagram 3s.
Hi. That's awesome.
That's both of you, right?
Yes. I think the key word
that was my idea for you to
coming
say
back. Yeah, it was, of course. To me is like the experience. And it's not just the experience that you're providing to the bride. It's the experience that people have whenever they interact with you and your brand. And that goes down to your logo design, the words you use on your website, the way you write your emails, the way you put things on social media, like all of those things add up. And, you know, pulling it back to even just venture and what that did for me in my brand, it was like I saw other people and connected with other people that had just a little bit different like viewpoints or ways that they did stuff. And I'm sitting in classes and I'm just like, oh, that little thing, if I just change my email signature and have a photo of me in that, and okay, like, or just little things like that to, you know, update my branding. And like, I'm in the middle also of a rebrand, the first time since like 8 years ago that I've updated anything, like which
same. Ours is like 8 years.
And it's like, it's like, I'll get to that. And it's like, that's why, you know, why we just released our course in the last month, you know, and a bunch of people jumped on that. And like, we always recommend people to be, you know, learning from others that are succeeding, whether that be with courses, digital products, or in-person workshops. And I can't stress to you enough, if you're on the fence about going to a workshop like Venture, or, you know, like investing in yourself, now is a really great time to do it, because the cause and effect, you know, working on you now is going to get you ready for 2021, which is most likely going to be an incredibly busy time for all of us as vaccines and all different kinds of things, and, you know, open back up and stuff like that. And so I was going to ask you, Kayla and Christine, do you know what you all are speaking on during Venture? Because what you guys are talking about is really awesome. Do you know, like, kind of I'm sure you don't want to give out the names of the classes necessarily or whatever, but like, do you have some of the things you're teaching on?
My class is called How to Film Weddings. Is that
great?
Is that copyrighted? I'm just
No,
kidding.
we don't have a trademark yet.
I'm just kidding. No, we're actually, the current plan is
We're going to do a live shoot with a couple,
shoot.
and we're going to be talking through all the fun aspects of that.
Yeah, there
That's
is I don't want to give any hints away on any cool possible things that I
steal
know
our
has
ideas.
not been squeezed into the schedule yet. But yeah, we're definitely doing a live shoot. We're going to be talking about our thought process while we're posing couples specifically. Last time at Venture, we did like our approach to ceremonies, and we touched briefly on some things, on working with couples. We talked a lot about technical things, like where we're miking people, what we're doing, and things like that. And then Forestry did the posing class. This year, we're doing, to reduce the amount of people coming in, we're only doing one live shoot. And hoping to make it a little bit longer so that people have some opportunity to, like, if they want to like get some portfolio content.
Yeah.
But we'll be doing a posing class.
Yep. Kind of like getting couples to, you know, how to express themselves and really connect, like have chemistry together and kind of work through that.
Oh, we should name my class We're Posers.
We're kind of a class of
How to be a poser. I like it.
Wow.
Okay.
And then I'm talking on color grading, but I'm going to be having more of like a beginner intermediate class. And then I'm going to do some breakout sessions where people are just going to be able to, hey, I'm going to be doing some color grading. And if you want to come watch or hang, you can watch in real time. Also, if you bring some footage, I'll color grade your footage for you, kind of thing.
See the beautiful
we're just going to have fun.
I'm going to make it of Caitlin's brain.
I'm going to bring my worst footage.
Yes. No, seriously. I love the challenge. Give me the hardest crap that you're like, I wouldn't use this shot. Can I still use this shot?
Can you help me with this iPhone video?
So I'm like, John, this is on a C100 Mark II. What do you expect from me? I'm not a god.
Come on. Colors are amazing on that camera.
It is good. It's good. No, I have seen some of your footage.
We have a couple of questions. Alex Young says team of 2 needs 2 tickets, correct?
Correct.
Yes.
Correct.
Which means you can give us 2 films.
Bring gear to venture? Is it more of a note-taking thing? A lot of people bring gear.
Yeah.
So here's
you're gonna want to bring gear.
2 reasons why we're bringing you out to the Colorado. We'll be mostly in Denver during autumn. In the city. Autumn. It'll be post-autumn. So we probably won't have a lot in the mountains at that point. But the mountains are still gorgeous because it's full of evergreens. So it'll be green and beautiful. So we suggest people bringing their gear, because if you want to go out in the mountains and go for a hike and film your beautiful landscapes or do things like that, that's totally cool.
Last time some of the Venture attendees connected and met up the day before Venture, and they all went for like a hike together.
Yeah, it was really cool.
And
I was really excited about that. Some people have done like sunrise, like the one in New Mexico, that group that went out and like to the top of the butte. They did like a huge hike. It was really intense for sunrise.
And we'll show you how to use your gear too. So bring it, because like the whole goal is you to be the best at your craft.
Well, and everybody learns differently. So there are a lot of people who come with just a pen and their notepad, or they come with their gear. And we notice this especially during live shoots, because sometimes during the live shoot, I'll say, okay, I'm going to challenge you. I want to prove to you that you can do X. And then we'll have them start doing it. And, it's definitely like really interesting to see how people are learning differently. They want to see exactly what we're doing, or they want to get in there themselves and film it. So, kind of take what you want. So
yeah, I remember from the first venture I went to, I think there were a lot of like newer filmmakers at that very first one. And so whenever we did like the styled shoot time, like I was in there and I was like going in like, but there were a lot of people that were hanging back, and I was like, why aren't you like getting up here and just like, filming and doing stuff? And I think it's just different. People like to do stuff differently and learn stuff differently, and not the getting there, but Venture is a great place to learn. Some of the best, people in our industry that are out there that are doing amazing work are going to be there. Caitlin, why don't you just run down, all of the speakers that are going to be there?
Absolutely. I mean, so we have, in my opinion, some of our best friends, but also just amazing presenters. One thing is, if it's great whenever you have somebody that is an amazing filmmaker, but also whenever they can also present and they love to teach and they have that as part of their heart. Some people are great teachers, but they're maybe not might be great in their craft. And so I feel like a lot of the people that we have are phenomenal in all the different areas. So we have KEJ Productions, and they're going to be slaying some audio knowledge, and they will be going over a lot of that. There's going to be some really fun avenues that they're going to take. So they're going to be speaking, which we love. And they also have attended Venture, and now they're presenting. So that's one thing that I love, is a lot of people that have attended or working our way up to, okay, now they're teaching, or they're building more of a community around their brand as well.
Guaranteed, if you come, you get to be our roommate and a teacher. No, it's just really exciting to see people coming back.
Yeah. We also have Eric Floberg. He is going to be emceeing, but also teaching this year. Past couple of years, he's only been emceeing, but we know that he is great at his craft as well, and so he's going to be slaying some knowledge.
I'm excited about the emotional wellness coach.
We have an emotional wellness coach, so he's going to just center us all, and we're going to feel moved and left just mind exploding with goodness.
Wow, and real big there.
So he's perform. I'll tell you that.
He's our keynote speaker. He's going to be phenomenal. We've heard him at another workshop and wanted to bring him in.
Yeah.
We also
figured, especially at the end of this year, it's probably really good. Yeah.
We also have Aaron Tharp of 31 Films, and he's going to have some really fun topics. It's going to be great to connect with him. Jake Weisler is going to be there, so he's going to be speaking and also be able to hang out. The guy's voice is amazing. He just loves to just teach, and I just could listen to him read me bedtime story times. Can you hear a child?
Can you hear a child?
Barely, just barely. Just barely.
She's cool.
Can you go? Do you want me to take
Hey,
over?
Steve, what do you want?
Guys, parenting and running business is the best. Like, I'm at an office, but Nick
10
every
minutes,
now and then will be like,
Yeah,
You're like this dog face
whenever
with-
Maddox comes to the door, I just have this
Get out
look
of
of
here.
like,
I feel like I have a new appreciation for that video that went viral of that dad who's like
The dad that
speaking
was,
on
like,
air,
yelling.
and he's like, get out of here, and the mom is crawling in the background, or mom or like a childcare, and she was just like crawling and like bringing him out.
so
I know we're
funny.
getting ready to get Z set up in school. It's definitely like we're trying to wait for timing on that. So
All right, back to the good stuff. Okay,
So
we
Jake.
have Matt Johnson though as well. Matt
beard.
and his beard
Who
is
is that?
coming. Yep, him and Rachel will be here, and they are going to be so fun, like they always are.
I'm so excited.
And
see
they're going to be
them.
hanging out. David Reynosa of Forestry Films is going to be here dropping some wisdom
David
on
always
business and everything filmmaking. So he is one of the originals, obviously. And we have Penn Weddings, which we are so excited. We have never met Sarah and Rick in person, I think.
person.
So we finally get to hang out with them. And
They're great.
more women speaking. That's what we're all about. So
Yeah.
excited to have them
She deserves
come.
a platform to be speaking.
And then we have our good buddy Seth Dunlap, who's going to be speaking on some commercial shooting stuff.
Mhm.
And then we have these two other guys, John Bunn and Nick Miller. They will be
Non-inject.
in
Oh, I read that wrong.
dressed together. You can definitely tell who they are.
We're
And
getting
they-
dressed together. What?
I mean, we're going to use.
Yeah,
some
are we
That's
prep.
what we're filming. That's what we're filming.
You're going to be
is
part of the prep. So
No, I'm so excited to hang with
Model
you
life.
guys for real. It's
Oh.
gonna be so fun.
And are we doing some fun activities like I don't know, podcasting or something like that? Maybe.
Yeah.
I
Are
don't
we
know.
podcasting? I don't
Wait,
know.
Well, we
do you guys
should.
know
I
a
hope we are.
podcaster that could do that?
We need somebody. I don't know.
I don't know.
They
But,
don't
yeah,
want. They don't
and
want a
we-
live podcast from
Yeah.
the venture. They don't want that.
Oh, and we have, last but not least, Lindsay Kirkland from Larav Films. Conklin, he's going to be here, and I feel like everybody that's coming has probably been on the How to Film Weddings podcast by now.
Oh gosh.
Yep.
I think
Is
so.
that you
pretty
guys
much.
built
Yep.
your like itinerary?
We basically just follow you guys around and say, okay, they're teaching there, get them on the podcast, and then we will win, and it's great. No,
Look
So
at Seth. I don't think he's been on there.
Seth hasn't been
no,
on.
Seth is
No.
not. I reached out to him a long time ago, but then
I
he
gave
got
him a
really
hard
cool
time
doing
last
like
year.
Nike
Yeah.
commercials and stuff. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
no big deal.
No big deal.
yeah.
All right, cool.
Well, so not that you need like even more reason to sign up and go to Venture, right? But you can hear from all of these amazing speakers. John and I included in that. I don't know if we're at the amazing level, but everyone else is pretty amazing. And you're going to get the class for posers from Christine.
How to be a poser.
How to be a poser. But again,
I'm a
if you
poser.
go to ventureworkshop.co, you sign up, just say you heard it from How to Film Weddings, and you will be one of the VIP, one of the 5 people. Well, I think there's 3 left now because we just had
Yeah,
two.
see,
two
Ricky
sign up.
just
Yeah,
grabbed
there's
one
it's
too.
going. Yeah, so
Are
I
they
don't know
gone?
by the time this
Oh
is
my-
going to be on the podcast, so I don't know if they'll be.
It-
We'll see.
yeah.
I think. Yeah, so far we're doing pretty good.
So you can have dinner with us, all 4 of us. Blake, our editor, might be there. I don't know. Blake,
Yeah.
he's going to be with
He'd
us.
probably
So
come, yeah.
it'll be
Yeah,
a
hang.
really great time. It'll be a good time for us to all talk one-on-one and help you with your business. Kayla and Christina will review some films. John might have some T-shirts that he will give you. The VIP.
Ooh.
VIP. Man, I'm having a tough time talking. I'm
Over
just
our
excited
child?
that Zelie is back there having
I love
such
it.
a good
She's
time.
stoked out of her mind. She
I
cannot
like-
wait.
She can't get over this VIP.
I would go help
dinner.
her, but I'm like wearing pajamas, like on the bottom part. I
Well, on that note, thank you all so much for tuning in today. Again, that's ventureworkshop.co. If you want to sign up, there are just a couple of tickets left for that VIP experience. Kayla and Christine, thank you guys so much for coming on and just chatting about this with us today. And we will see you guys in a few weeks.
I'm
Thanks
so
for tuning
stoked.
in. And until next time, we'll see you.
Thanks for having us.
Bye.
Thank you so much, Kaylin and Christine, for jumping on the podcast today and talking with us all things venture. If you were on the fence before, we know that now is the time that you should really sign up, invest in yourself. And then if you sign up today, you can hang out and have dinner with me and John and Kaylin and Christine. Great opportunity for you. So head over to ventureworkshop.co. And whenever you're checking out, just make sure you mention How to Film Weddings and you will get to be a part of that VIP experience. Thank you all so much for listening to this week's episode of the podcast. And until next time, we will see ya.
See ya.